Stadium, where Paradise City was first filmed. It was obviously a hazy time in your life, but do you have any memories of New York, New Jersey, in the heyday of Guns N' Roses?
Of course. Watching, having that for video that I got to watch, and see so many times, it brings back the memory. So it wasn't that hazy at that time. But yeah, of course, I remember walking around New York City and looking at the Statue of Liberty, and, it was like the first time we've ever been to New York. And it was, a very exciting time in my life. But Giant Stadium, of course I remember, it was with Aerosmith and Deep Purple. You can't forget that. Those are the two great bands that I grew up with that were a big influence on the whole band, not just myself. So that was really exciting to play with them.
And I was just in Brooklyn last week when I saw you and Alex playing at the Bell House, which was a fantastic show. Everyone in the band has the rock experience, but compared to venues like, say, Giant Stadium, the Bell House is a smaller club.
Right.
What are the differences between playing the small venues versus the arenas?
Well, you know what? You were there yourself. We go out there and we play an arena show. So even if we're playing like a club or a bar or an arena, it's going to be an arena show.
Also behind the new book,
yes.
Behind Appetite. Your Appetite for Destruction, which is kind of a very frank tell-all of the rise of Guns N' Roses, your personal fall from Guns N' Roses. Looking back, is there any way the story could have worked out differently, or were the drugs and the fights and all the shit that went down inevitable?
It's inevitable, and everything is meant to be and happens for a reason. If I think about it, if I didn't get myself kicked out of the band, I probably would have killed myself. I mean, I tried to so many times, but having the access that I did, being a part of Guns N' Roses, it was just, it was anything goes. And anything, it was just not even a phone call, it was just to even think it. All I had to do was think drugs and what kind of drugs I wanted, and they would actually come to me. That's how powerful it was. And I probably would have, lost my life and not been able to sit here right now. And
so
have
really
that
was
opportunity.
So easy.
Yeah, it really was so easy, yes.
Axl gets a lot of flack for his behavior. But you write that when you first overdosed, he was the only one waiting in the hospital for you.
Yeah.
Do you think that Axl gets a bad rap in the press, or is treated unfairly?
Well, he just stands out more, because he's the voice of the band. And, he gives his own, I don't know, I just love him very much, and I know I'm just thankful to be a part of his life. And yeah, he gets a bad rap.
You think it's undeserved?
Well, some of it is, but most of it isn't. You take one thing, so he had one or two incidences, and they made it seem like, people make it seem like it was 1,000 incidences. And it wasn't. But they're key, important incidences. Like in the book where I talk about the very first professional show with Alice Cooper. He should have been in the van with us. I told him, get in the van, fuck that girl, get in the van. You don't need her. Get in there with the boys. But, yeah.
Well, Axl has said some nasty things about you and your mom in the press, but you also wrote some pretty nasty things about your mom.
My mom did some things out,
Was Axl right when he said that the nightmare of your mother comes along with you?
I don't know. I know that my mother was obviously part of my life and did a lot of bad things, but he was just angry with me because I let him down. I didn't realize it was me letting him down. I thought it was them letting me down. But he was angry with me because I let him down. And I didn't realize it until, 2 years ago. When I started working on taking care of myself and getting, myself back together.
I know you've seen Axl in the last couple of years.
Yes.
Axl had plastic surgery? That's
I
the
don't
biggest
think so.
rumor on the internet.
I think that's a great mustache he's got, but I don't think he had it surgically implanted.
People were claiming he's had a facelift or Botox.
I don't know. He looked good to me. Looked the same to me.
Look natural to you?
Yeah.
Alright.
He didn't look like
That's the number one rumor on the internet when Axl came back into the public eye.
I just haven't seen him for a while. He's one of those ginger kids. He's just hard to tan, that's all.
I wanted to talk about the Appetite for Destruction record a little bit. When you guys were first writing it, was it obvious that it was going to be such a landmark record?
Yes, we knew that. We went in doing this with that as our main goal. When we went in to record the songs at the studio, we would go and we'd lay the rhythm tracks down, and then we'd go back in the booth to listen to it. And we were in there going, "This is going to be the biggest record ever." And we went in with that goal from the very beginning. It was even with me and Slash, and Izzy and Axl, because they knew each other since they were teenagers. They said, "We're going to be at the top of the world. We're going to be the biggest band in the world. We're going to travel around the world. We're going to make out with all these girls. We're going to platinum records. We're going to do all these drugs." The drugs were planned. Okay, we were planning on doing the drugs. I mean, that's what our idols did. That we looked up to. Zeppelin, Aerosmith. Excuse me. They did drugs, and that was, he thought that was a part of it.
In the book, you talk about the Michelle of the song My Michelle.
Yeah.
Of all the girls and all the stories, how did she get her own song?
Well, she went out with Axl, but me and Slash went to junior high school with her. I literally saw my first porno at her house.
Because her daddy works in porno,
I
her mom's not around.
Yeah. So I literally did see that. And then, we know each other since 8th grade. So what, 12, 13? And then, 5 years later, Axl meets her and started going out with her and had his experiences with her.
Was she upset that you wrote the song?
No, of course not.
Was she proud?
She loves the song.
You also write that Mr. Brownstone was Axl's warning to the band about heroin.
No, that was just one warning that he gave on stage one of the nights when we were playing with the Rolling Stones.
Well, you wrote that
came out of nowhere.
You wrote that the lyrics to Mr. Brownstone were kind of a cautionary tale.
Well, yeah. It is a cautionary tale.
Was that aimed at one person in particular in the band, or
I
just general?
I think just really Slash and Izzy were doing heroin. Like in the book, I talk about how I brought them syringes. I had no idea what they were doing. I didn't know that they had to find a vein, and then they put the needle in the vein and pull the blood up. And then I thought they just stuck it in their arm anywhere and just did it. And I figured they did it there because they just could hide it. I don't know. I was so naive to it. But they were doing it, and the people that were hanging around the band at the time were doing it. And Axl is avidly does not go for that. I mean, he's on his share of coke, and he smoked a little heroin, Axl a little, because the reason I started doing it, well, the first time I did it was because the band, like Slash and Izzy, were in one room, and I'm in one room all by myself, and they're in there laughing, and we got girls in there, and I wanted to be a part of my band, so I did it.
So it always
But
starts,
Axl
right?
was never into heroin. He didn't. I just wanted to fit in, be a part of my band.
Do you believe you deserve to be fired from the band?
Yes, I do. Yes, I did.
So
I did. Like I said earlier, my job is to keep the hands clapping, the feet tapping. And if I can't do my job, I let them down. I mean, like I said, I thought they let me down for 20 years. And that it led to nothing, me blaming them for what I did led to nothing but trying to kill myself, to drug abuse, to loneliness, just to everything, to jails, institutions, and hospitals. And when I faced the facts and faced up and manned up to it, is that they didn't let me down. I let them down.
Axel has said unequivocally that he and Slash will never get back together, will never recounsel. But if Axel called you tomorrow and said, hey, come join my new band, bring Alex along with you, would you go join the new GNR?
No.
Only a full reunion?
Only the 5 of us. That's what the GNR is. Right now, it's just Axl Rose. And he should not call it Guns N' Roses. I actually think he would get, it would be more popular and his record would have done, better if he named it War. W-A-R. W. Axl Rose. And it would have worked, but there's no way.
What would you like to play you in the inevitable Guns N' Roses movie?
Either Brad Pitt or Leonardo DiCaprio.
I think you get Sean Penn, but from when he shot Fast Times.
Yeah. Sean Penn. That was
Spicoli era.
to do it.
Sean Penn would be a good Adler in that movie, I think.
Who should play Axel?
Danny Bonaducci. Another ginger boy.
How about Slash?
Who's that guy that's on, what's that, Entourage?
The
The actor guy?
The tall guy?
The guy with the black curly hair is on Entourage.
Vince, the main character?
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
Adrian Greener?
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, he'd be a good Slash. He looks like an intellectual.
And he's also kind of the quiet, silent kind.
Yeah.
Sure. The Rock and Roll Hall of Fame requires a band to be active for 25 years before it could be inducted in. Do you consider Guns N' Roses to have been active for the past 25 years? Do you think you should be eligible?
Yeah, of course. Or at least Axl was doing, the GNR name.
And if they were inducted in a couple of years, do you think...
You mean when
well, the question is
inducted?
Is it gonna be a whole mess like it was with Van Halen when guys weren't talking to each other?
No, because I think I'm hoping that Slash and Izzy and Duff, and especially Axl, will read my book, and they'll realize what a special thing we have. And hopefully by that time we'll already be in a room together, making amends with each other.